Hello again, welcome back
Hi.
to the video series that's loved by multiple people online.
There's threes of people.
Three is that trio? Would you say trios of people?
Trios of people.
Trios of people
Yeah.
online. Welcome back to
Hi.
Bros Bad Gaming.
It's my party and I'll
God.
cry if I want to. Cry if I want to.
This really isn't going to be the
Cry
theme
if
tune.
I want to.
Oh, no.
You would cry too if it happened to you. Ba 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 ba. Yeah.
No, it's terrible.
You keep saying it's not the theme tune. It literally is
It
already
is not
the theme tune.
literally the theme tune. Right, so
Well, it is.
today's story, we're still in the fantasy realm of Pathfinder, aren't we, bro?
Yeah, Galarian?
Galarian.
Galarian, yeah.
Here we are in Galarian.
Galarian. So this one takes place back prior to the
Is this before A Farewell to Arm?
A Farewell to Arm. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So this one is before that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like there's a timeline to this thing. It's
No.
all bad.
Yeah.
So
I just so people know,
right?
where
Okay.
we are.
But so you're not in Brevoy.
No.
No. Which was like the Game of Thrones rip-off place.
It's the Game of Thrones rip-off place in which nothing particularly
Game of
Game of
Thrones
Thrones has been
happens,
happening
yeah.
to me.
So,
Yeah.
but you're working for. You're still working for a noble. And you're given a mission, aren't you?
No, it's more of a merchant, really,
Oh, right, okay.
but a very wealthy merchant.
Okay.
Highly placed merchant. So we're asked to actually go to the merchant's house, which is this sort of overgrand building, which is suggesting that they've got money, but they don't necessarily have style.
They're a bit ostentatious.
Yes, so they've got money, they don't necessarily have style.
They're like those rich rappers' houses that are all just like gold statuettes and shit everywhere, and it's just gaudy as all
It's just
hell.
gaudy and
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
because,
Like they've
'cause
got
they-
the money, but they just don't know how to
They,
spend
they
it properly.
think that looks cool
Yeah.
and upper class when actually it looks really bad.
Maybe the merchant was like a rapper on the side.
Maybe he just wraps up the things he sells. There you go.
Oh, that's terrible, bro. Right. All right, continue.
Okay. So, we're brought into, as I say, once again, an overly ostentatious house.
Uh-huh.
And we're taken to his, like a kind of office come library, filled with books.
Yeah,
with the very probably never been cracked, shall we say?
Okay. There might
Their
be...
spines.
Oh, it's Russ Bullock's room. Okay.
Yeah, so lots of stuff, but he's probably not read any of it. It's just to make him look, as I said, more important.
Yeah. Like he knows what he's doing. Yeah, you may hear a cat in the background. I apologise for this one.
Okay, I accept your apology.
I'm talking to the people listening, not you, idiot.
Why can't you apologise to me?
Why would I apologise to you for your cat?
It's your cat too.
Technically
Anyway.
it is, but I did sign for them. Yeah.
The nice one is over there, and she's quiet.
Anyway, so
Yes.
we're in this overly ostentatious office.
Yes, and it's a sort of slightly older guy, beard, expensive clothing.
Hang on, was he described as this?
He was described as like,
because
like
I know
wealthy dressed.
you've got a bit of a flair for the.
And we're brought in before him by one of his servants.
Okay.
And he's like, good, so you've arrived.
I see. Now
I'm
it's-
very happy that you are here, for I have an important task, and I've heard that you have a reputation at getting things done quickly and quietly.
Wait a minute. This GM would never have put that voice on for this NPC. This is you again.
What?
This
No.
is you adding flavour.
Look, just let me...
Hang on, let me.
What?
I can
What?
feel the texture. There's
What?
there's not supposed to be texture in Bros Bad Gaming Adventures.
What are
They're
you
supposed to
doing?
be flat and lifeless and smooth.
Stop feeling the
Ow.
texture.
Ah, but I have to feel the texture because it's not supposed to be there.
Just let me do what I do.
When you GM, yes. Right.
Can I continue now?
Right, so the Churchill dog is giving you a mission.
I have an operation, some day's travel from this fair city, logging, and other such sundries. But it has been under extreme attack. Someone or something is controlling the animals of the surrounding area to attack them. Men have been killed and wounded. damage to property. I need it dealt with immediately.
More tea, Mr. Thistlewaite.
What?
More tea, Mr. Thistlewaite.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. Enjoy your tea.
What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm adding texture. One of the servants has come in and offered tea.
So we get given a map of the location. So off the main road, there's a track we have to take.
Okay.
And that will take us out
hold on. You say
into
we.
the wilderness.
So are you in a party at this point?
Yeah, so I was still an actual adventurer.
Right. Oh, you still had your
This is before I'd completely given up on the whole adventuring idea for my character.
Okay.
So, we're told we'll be getting paid several thousand gold.
Okay.
Okay, that's
not
fine.
Bad, that's not bad.
That's not bad. It's better than the 50 gold we've had in the past. And
Yeah.
you're laughing, but it's true.
I know, yeah, because I remember you telling me at the time.
And we tell him that we will set off the following morning.
Oh.
And that's what we do.
Yeah.
So we're on our horses. We head out. It's a beautiful day. The owners are setting up their wares, their awnings to sell their wares in the street.
Hold on, there's I can feel the texture again.
Shut up. We head through the gates, guards sort of, semi-sleeping against their halberds as the sun is, only risen, barely, 40 minutes ago. And off we are onto the main road, the first of the early arrivals to bring their wares to the city.
The adventure graph is going off the scale.
All right. Okay. And we head off onto the main road.
Okay.
After several hours of travelling, we finally find this little path that comes off the main road.
Okay.
This track.
Yeah,
more of a track, really. And we take that, and off we go. Nothing much happens during our journey. We see that clearly the track is used by heavy laden carts.
All right, yeah. So you can see the
ruts occasionally where it's where bad weather has caused it to become a little bit
muddy and
muddier. So we know this gets used reasonably, and we know it gets used by heavy carts. So those bringing back lumber, yeah, that fits.
Which means it is an easy place to track for anyone who does want to raid a cart or two.
Yes, yeah. And finally, after it's about a day and a half, we arrive at this camp. So it's got a basic wooden palisade around it.
Yeah.
A kind of gate with a ladder going up from the other side, obviously, to a small kind of standing area where they could point a crossbow or two at anyone that approaches. Mm-hmm. Inside, it looks like there's a number of basic wooden buildings and stuff for, obviously, bringing the logs in. But a load of them are just piled up outside.
Okay.
So this is just to protect the workers and their equipment.
Yeah, so it's where they sleep, where they eat and all that.
Yeah, the logs are all mostly the trees, as it were.
Yeah, the lumber.
The actual lumber is mostly on the outside. There's a reasonable amount of it there, so I'm sort of like, oh, okay, so it doesn't seem to have slowed them down too much, or have they not brought any back for a while? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, there's guards up there. Who are you? They seem immediately suspicious and nervous.
Which makes sense if there's been an attack.
We tell them that who we've been sent by and we're here to deal with these attacks. Now, I asked to do a perception roll to see if I can see any signs of dead animals.
Okay.
Because they said that animals are being,
manipulated
to attack in ways that a animal intelligent creature wouldn't do. But I'm told that there's no carcasses. Okay. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine, maybe they got rid of them. Yeah.
Probably ate them. Yeah, lumberjacks don't eat anything.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe if you're not careful, eat the trees.
My apologies to any lumberjacks that are currently listening.
What?
What?
There's no Canadians listening. Anyway, continue with the stuff.
The gates are opened, we're allowed in, but there's still a lot of suspicion. There's people with their hands on axes and stuff. They seem very nervous.
Okay.
So we think, oh, well, okay, so this shows signs that this isn't just a comfortable little organisation. We're asked to see the person in charge, which is a woman.
A woman.
So she's reasonably well built, wearing a chain shirt,
Right.
sword at her side. Everyone looks like they're ready for combat.
Sorry, it's just I did that. She's just got this chain shirt, and a sword.
No, I'm just suggesting that.
I know, yeah.
Suggesting that instead of just wearing clothing or whatever,
Yeah,
everyone
they're
seems
ready for a scrap. Yeah.
Everyone seems ready for a scrap. So far, other than not seeing any of the dead animals, everything feels like everyone's on edge.
It seems to tally with what you've been told. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're brought to see them. Our horses are taken to a small sort of stables they have, mainly for the horses that... they don't use horses. They use... I've forgotten what it was that was that would pull the cart, because the carts would be extremely
the
heavy.
logs would be pulled behind by oxen or
Oxen
something.
would pull them, so it's slow going.
I know, there's like a sled that you could put the logs on.
Yeah, and that would take them back to the city, basically, which for them is like a 3-day journey, sometimes 4, depending on the weather. So, brought before her, and she relates pretty much what we've already been told.
Yeah.
We're happy you're here. This situation is getting completely out of control.
I'd just like to point out, this GM would not have done this voice.
My men are on tenterhooks. They're afraid to go out. They won't log anymore. These attacks are getting more and more. They've even become suspicious of the very birds that fly over, as if they're spying on us. Whatever this situation is, it needs to be dealt with immediately. This whole encampment is falling apart.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, so people really are getting sort of, someone or something has got it out for the logging group. So, obviously, assumption is that they want the logging to stop.
Yeah.
Intelligent creatures in the area, or some,
could be fae or something like that.
Something of that nature.
Woodland sprites.
Yes. Or it could be for all I know, it could actually be,
it could be a rival group.
Ents.
Oh, Ents, yeah.
Or it could be a rival group using whatever tricks to lure the animals in.
Mm-hmm.
So we tell them that, we'll need to rest. It's middle of the afternoon. We'll set out in the morning.
Okay.
And, okay. They seem a little annoyed we're not just immediately heading out.
Yeah.
That's fine. However, we're only there a few hours when 3 or 4 bears charged to try to smash down the palisade.
Okay.
And we're sent out to deal with them. Now, though they're just bears, they're big creatures. They can cause a reasonable amount of damage. We have a bit of a fight with them. Pretty nasty, but the 3 of them are killed. At no point do the bears try to flee. And I think my suspicion is, well, it's suspicious they're attacking, but it's very suspicious after taking some bad hits.
Yeah.
None of them are running off.
Yeah.
They're just staying and fighting to the death, which doesn't feel natural. So, is this the kind of thing that's been happening? And we're told by a number of the nervous guards. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, this has been happening all the time. It's getting worse and worse, I tell you. Every couple of weeks we get these attacks, and each time it's getting more and more formidable, like someone's finding out whether, wolves aren't doing it, let's send in bears now. What will be next?
Bear wolves. Probably.
Bear wolves.
Some kind of terrifying hybrid.
A hybrid of cat and mouse.
Dear God. That's terrifying. I can barely imagine that.
Some kind of weasel mixed with a ferret.
A pine marten and a weasel.
A pine marten and a weasel. That's a terrifying combination.
That'd be a pine weasel.
Pine weasel?
What about an owl and a bear?
Don't get stupid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's just stupid, that is.
That is stupid.
Who'd want to do that?
I don't know. I had a fart and it made me gassy. And then I just said it, and I'm sorry.
I think you just had a fart.
Oh yeah, it might be that.
Anyway.
So you fought the bears. They're dead, so you got some meat, and you got some furs.
Well, we leave them to do that. It's not really our concern.
Fine. Adventurers.
Okay, so we heal ourselves
You're
up.
very good adventurers. Usually you're the first one to start picking everything clean for profit.
That's first level stuff. Okay.
You needed it. You just said you needed as much money as
I'm getting paid thousands. Okay, so we rest the night. We're aware now that the men are nervous. We also then find out that the stores of food in the place are starting to run low because they would also keep them topped up by foraging and getting other stuff from the surrounding area. It's there's lots of woods, rolling hills. It's a plentiful area, you say.
Yeah.
So because they're not going out, that's also being reduced. So we stick to using our iron rations, as it were. Not the nicest food, but at least
I mean, they can't go that hungry. There's 3 bears that they've got food of now, so that's not too
I don't know
bad.
if you eat bear meat.
Yeah, you do eat bear steak.
Guess they could though. Guess if you're hungry, you're going to eat meat.
Well, you cook up a bear.
Okay, so the next morning, they're all being sick after eating bear, and we head off. You all right there?
I just imagine the camp just running, just vomiting everywhere. I think we've done a good thing this day. As you ride out, yeah.
You fucking idiot. Anyway, you're amusing yourself, aren't you?
I like the visual.
So we head out. We leave our horses behind. I think it's going to be better to go on foot.
Oh, they're going to eat the horses anyway.
Well, our idea is we're going to follow the tracks the bears left. Big, heavy creatures. It's rained a little, but it's should be fine. And so we head off. It isn't difficult to follow them.
Yeah.
They pretty much tore up some of the undergrowth once. So the area directly around the camp has been mostly cut back to give them a wide view of the area. And obviously they've been logging, but they've been logging a bit further in where the trees are a bit bigger, thicker, better quality.
Worth more,
Yeah. The bears didn't come from that direction, is what we quickly realised. So if it's the logging they're trying to stop, the bears came from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So, okay, that's interesting. Maybe that's a clue to something. We follow the track, and we're getting deep into the woods.
Yeah.
But we're still not going in the direction that they've been logging in. And the tracks seem to come to a point where the bears are breaking off. So they came in from a certain point. So we backtrack a little and we search around a little more. Because, if they came together, did they come together because something brought them together at a certain point?
That makes sense, yeah.
After searching around for a good 20-30 minutes, we find the barest suggestion of some kind of, maybe something else was there, but it's like they've left almost no track of their their presence.
Yeah.
It's like a ranger or a druid or some other creature that can move in such a way as they leave nothing behind, and we're barely even it's something was there, but we still don't know what it was.
Right.
So there's hardly any tracks of this thing, but it was here, and somehow it summoned the bears to this location. So
right.
Okay, so this leaves us little to go by, little to go on, because if it's something that can move through forest and leave no sign, no broken branches or whatever, it's going to be difficult to find. So we return, letting them know that, okay, the birds were brought to a certain location. It's clear that they were somehow called and then travelled together. And obviously the foreman in charge, it's like, as I told you, we have no idea who's causing this or why. Mm-hmm. I assume it's to do with the logging. So we inform her, well, this didn't come from that area. This was in a different direction, an opposing direction. So if they're concerned about your logging, whoever it is nowhere near that area. So if it was you were getting close to someone's home or territory, it seems strange that this is in another direction. But maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe they were there because there's bears in that area. We still don't know.
No.
But they're annoyed we haven't found anything yet of substance.
Okay, yeah.
Like, we were told you were experts. We were told that we were getting people capable of sorting this out. I need this dealt with immediately. Okay, all right. We'll head back out again.
Right.
Now, obviously, I'm getting a little frustrated because if there's nothing to track, how am I supposed to find anybody?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
You think the GM at this point would be giving you something.
Yeah, but I've got little to work with other than the attack by the bears and the fact that we followed that for an hour or more into the forests, and then it came to pretty much an end. So off we go again, deciding, well, we'll move into that area and just start looking around of our own accord, start, moving around the area, seeing what we can find. And it's almost getting to evening, and we're sort of like, okay, we've found nothing. We're going to start making our way back before it gets dark. And several of the party are human. They won't be able to see very well in the dark. In the middle of a forest, it's going to be pitch black almost. Mm-hmm. And as we're starting to head back, we hear a voice that seems to be coming from the trees.
Right, okay.
So you're the ones they sent?
Again, that isn't a voice that the GM did.
Will you stop saying that?
I have to point this out. It's not ruining
You're ruining it for those listeners.
I'm not ruining it for the listener.
I'm like, what, who? Who what? You're the ones they sent then. Yes. My cat is aware of your presence.
Aware of you.
Meow.
Stupid cat. Alright, go on.
I warned them if they did not leave, I would continue my attacks. Whoa. Wait, what? You warned them? Maybe your warnings were just the attacks? No. I warned them. As I am speaking to you now, they are fully aware. Oh, they never said anything about speaking to someone.
They just
Who are you? Who are you? Silence. And each time they speak, it seems like it's coming from a different tree.
Okay.
But we can't see anyone. Finally, though, a figure steps out. Matted robes covered in leaves and bits of moss and stuff, almost as if made so that they would disappear into the foliage. Tall, well-built, but older male. A twisted staff, but with budding leaves and stuff still coming from it, as if the staff is still alive and growing.
This is stuff you're adding. This is texture again. This isn't how this GM would have described. He would have just said a druid steps out of the woods.
Okay.
That's how he would have done it. There's a druid. He's an older druid, and that's it, isn't it? You've added this. This is texture. You've hidden it.
We'd be done with this in a lot quicker if it weren't for you dragging this out, because you're
adding your
doing
texture.
This. Anyway. And he steps forward.
He steps out.
And he's got piercing grey eyes.
Oh, just get on with that bit.
What do you mean you gave them a warning? As I am warning you now to leave, I am done with their violence and evil. Look, the city needs lumber. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Lumber? Yes, I don't like that part very much either, but I obviously wouldn't have caused this much trouble over a little lumber. Right? What are you talking about? So the party looks confused.
Yeah.
See the party look confused.
Did you see the party? They look confused.
They look confused. It is the Fae they have been attacking. What? They've been attacking the Fae. What, to kill them off, to drive them away? No. They are dragging them off and selling them as slaves. Entertainment for the wealthy in the city. Those delinquent nobles and their twisted entertainments. They are enslaving the local Fae and selling them as playthings and toys in the city. No, they're not. What? Oh, yes. The population here has dwindled considerably. It affects the forests. It affects the environment itself. Though the Fae use the environment is nourished also by the ancient power of the Fae, and I will stand for it no more. Tell them to leave. Tell them to leave, or I will destroy them. Look, I don't know anything about Fae. You have to stop the attacks. We've been hired to deal with the situation. You have to. I will kill more and more of them if they do not. It's clear he's not going to back down. We can see in his eyes his determination.
Okay.
His steely resolve.
So a fight ensues.
A fight ensues, it does. He summons wolves, dire wolves, and a number of other creatures. He makes the plants obviously writhe and move to slow our movement or try and drag weapons from our hands.
Yeah.
And other magics as best he can. Even his staff hits us as if it's iron, even though, as I said, it's still growing.
Yeah.
And we're forced to fight and kill him. Even during the fight, we keep trying to get him to stand down, feeling that he's not evil, but he's become... he's got to a point where he won't,
He won't stop
unfortunately.
either, yeah.
And a final blow from a spell brings him down. The remaining creatures immediately abandon the area. The plants return to their normal ways and so forth. We grab his staff and a few effects. We decide to dig a small makeshift grave and cover it over.
Right.
We don't feel like he's evil or anything, but we have concerns now about what the hell is really going on.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we return.
So you march back.
It's relatively late night now. It's been a slow journey back. We're a little bit injured still, even with healing. The gates to the place, or the wooden palisade is opened. We march through, demanding to see the woman in charge. Oh, she's asleep. She's asleep now. It's late. I don't care. Wake her now. Oh, right. Okay, I will do. But on your head be it. She's awoken. We're brought through into her little kind of office-like thing, and stand before her. Killed the druid. A druid, she says. But a check reveals that this is not new to her.
Okay.
But she's pleased.
You sensed motive.
Yes. You knew there was a druid, didn't you? What are you talking about? You knew there was a druid. He'd already threatened you to stop. And you knew why he was attacking you. And it wasn't for the lumber, was it? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean. He made it clear he'd given warnings. And the warnings were about you kidnapping and selling Fae into slavery? When I return and inform your master what's been going on, that you've endangered his lumber operations because you've decided there's side money to be made out of kidnapping creatures, intelligent creatures, causing all of this upset, it'll be the end of you. She laughs.
Okay.
Oh, dear me. You righteous little fools. My boss knows exactly what's going on. When we sold the first few Fae, we made so much more money than the mere lumber. We're not the only lumber operation around. That's a big city. Its desire for such fuel is insatiable. But when the nobles acquired the first of their Fae, using them as entertainment at their parties and other vile activities, well, the money we made? No, our boss was very happy. Continue, he said. As many as you can.
This is all texture, but go on.
It's like, wait, what? No. Your boss doesn't know. Oh, yes, he does. We told him everything. We told him about the druid.
And the attacks.
And the attacks, of course. He knows everything. Wait, what? No, he won't be firing me. But thank you for getting rid of that irksome druid. It will make our operations now a lot smoother. I assume you'll be gone by morning. Now get out of my rooms. I need to sleep.
Right, so you're hired by the merchant who runs...
Who claims to not have any idea what's going on.
Okay.
He claims to not know that this is happening.
Right.
That unknown forces are attacking them. Why not tell us that a psychotic druid
is attacking the camp?
Is attacking the camp, if that's what we're supposed to be after, instead of leaving us ignorant.
And was this part of a conspiracy on this merchant's part when you got back? Like, did you find it was like, oh yeah, I knew, but I knew you wouldn't do it unless I told you the truth?
No, when we return and say we know what you're up to,
yeah,
it's just like, here's your money, F off.
What?
Yeah, it just suddenly turns into, yeah, I know I'm kidnapping and selling Fae into slavery. What's your problem? Suddenly...
Why didn't you tell me that?
Exactly. Suddenly it just becomes a kind of, a situation. Like, that was always what was going on, and the fact that we didn't know was our fault.
Right.
We were being ignorant.
Yeah, come on, thicko.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it ends, with us being kind of belittled by the NPC. We think we found something out. We think that something horrible and illegal is happening.
He set up this thing, and that now maybe you'll do something to fix the problem, and it turns out
it'll be a big scandal and all this kind of stuff. But no, it's just like nothing. And so we say, I'm sort of like, oh well, we'll go to the town guard. He says, I sell this stuff to the nobility. Do you think the town guard are going to lift a finger? And I said, well, then why didn't you just tell us you knew about the druid? Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just sort of like, I didn't think you needed to know. But you need us to deal with the druid, but you don't need us to know to deal with the druid.
Yeah, because if
it's not, the adventure wasn't as bad as some of the others, because it didn't just come to a shuddering halt. But the thought process of the NPCs becomes a little confusing.
Yeah, cause if the merchant just said, look, I've got a bit of a side operation that makes a lot of money.
But I'm willing to pay.
Yeah, there's a druid who's disrupting it. I want you to go out there and get rid of him. Well, however, I don't care how you do it.
Yeah, now, we don't know that the Fae they're grabbing are good or evil. There are different types of Fae. Many of them are particularly vile.
Yeah.
But the assumption is they're not that type of Fae, but we never see any of the Fae. I should point out, I never see a single Fae. It's not like we find, like,
a holding
cages
area or something.
with, Fae creatures inside, like, begging for help or anything like that.
Well, I mean, where were they being kept?
I don't know. There's no explanation.
This sounds like our old faithful GM here added this wrinkle a bit later on.
That's my assumption, yeah. That he suddenly decided
he had the initial
that
idea.
The druid would then tell us something shocking.
Yeah. The initial plan was, there's a logging camp.
But he still wants us to fight the druid. Because he still makes it clear the druid is going to attack us and anyone that gets in his way.
Yeah.
But he now wants to make the druid seem, I don't know, sympathetic? But the game is to fight the druid, not... Because I thought, we're going to have to go back and fight them to release the Fae, thus we're not going to get paid.
But he doesn't tell you that the Fae are there, and that they're just very blasé, like, yeah, of course it was. But what's your problem?
Yeah. If it turned out we're on the wrong side and we're going to have to either kill him and get paid, or
switch
go
sides.
And do the right thing, but we'll get a bad reputation for doing it.
Yeah.
He's not going to admit to what's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
He'll cover it all up using his contacts amongst the nobility. You won't get hired in this city.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That would have been kind of like, okay, we've done the right thing, but how much is it going to cost us?
Mm-hmm.
But no, it just turned into, you didn't know. Oh, you're so stupid. So, though it's not quite as silly an ending. It's still, if you were sat at a table playing and then that's the ending, you'd feel like,
What?
what the fuck? What the hell? How? What?
Why?
When? And so, yeah. By the way, there was no comeback. We didn't, like, get a poor reputation. The merchant didn't spoil our name. Not that we had a name to spoil. So it
And
also
there was no
did.
follow-up on it. There was no, like, narrative there where you were given the opportunity to do something about this. There was, like... there was a noble in the town who was against this practice.
Yeah,
And-
there was no sort of like, yeah, nothing ever happened and it was never mentioned again, which like a lot of his games. So we never heard about Fae being used,
Trafficked, essentially.
yeah, at parties or other gatherings or other dark things, or people, you know, killing Fae for their blood or anything crazy like that.
Yeah.
That maybe these, you know, nobles bored and looking for new excitement.
Messing around with things they shouldn't
They
be.
shouldn't
Yeah.
be, yeah. That might have caused events in the city. You know, oh, this guy gets away with it now, but he's going to get his comeuppance
Yeah,
later
yeah.
when something
There'll be-
horrible goes
some
wrong.
tragedy happens in the city, like,
Yeah.
you know, so far.
And some entity,
That's all just vanishes.
yeah, or some fae comes to the city to seek out its lost child or
Yeah,
wife or husband
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. So basically, just to make it clear, nothing ever happened
Nothing.
related to this again.
Yeah.
That was just a thing. It was
I
like
mean, like when we found the painting of the dead dragon as if it was revealing the location of a lost hoard.
yeah.
And the painting was never mentioned again
that
from a
yeah.
previous one.
It's like
Yes.
it's like the end of a classic Star Trek episode. Just resets.
Everything's resets.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
So,
Well, that was Bros Bad Gaming once again,
yeah.
and you would cry too
If it happened to you.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
No, don't do the music.
Da, 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 da.
Oh, God damn it, Pip. You're awful, bro. And you will have to continue to suffer these games for literally dozens of enjoyment for
Yeah.
people. Okay?
Okay.
So,
Bye then.
bye. Bye.